Hello and welcome to Mind Course Media. In this video, we'll explore the history of Vietnam, from its early beginnings to the present day. The first known inhabitants of Vietnam were the Ho Chi Minh, who lived in the area from around 10,000 BC. The Ho Chi Minh were hunter-gatherers who lived in small villages. They were skilled in making tools and weapons from stone and bone. In the 2nd century BC, Vietnam was conquered by the Chinese. The Chinese ruled Vietnam for over 1,000 years. During this time, the Vietnamese people adopted many Chinese customs and traditions. However, they also retained their own unique culture. In the 10th century, Vietnam gained its independence from China. The country then went through a period of political instability, with a number of different dynasties vying for control. In the 16th century, Vietnam was conquered by the Ming dynasty of China. However, the Vietnamese people eventually rebelled and drove the Chinese out. In the 19th century, Vietnam was colonized by France. The French ruled Vietnam for over 60 years, during which time they exploited the country's resources and suppressed the Vietnamese people. In 1945, Vietnam declared its independence from France. However, the French refused to recognize Vietnam's independence, and a war broke out between the two countries. The war lasted for 8 years and ended with the French defeat in 1954. The Vietnam War was a long and bloody conflict that had a profound impact on Vietnam. The war caused widespread destruction and loss of life, and it also had a significant impact on the country's culture and society. After the war, Vietnam was divided into two countries, North Vietnam and South Vietnam. North Vietnam was communist, while South Vietnam was non-communist. The two countries fought a civil war from 1954 to 1975. The war ended with the victory of North Vietnam and the reunification of Vietnam under communist rule. Since the end of the war, Vietnam has made great economic progress. The country is now a member of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, and is considered to be a rising economic power in the region. Vietnam is also a popular tourist destination. The country has a long coastline, stunning mountains, and lush jungles. Vietnam is also home to a diverse range of wildlife, including tigers, elephants, and monkeys. Vietnam is a country with a rich history and culture. The country is a great place to visit, and it is also a great place to live and work. If you are looking for a country with a bright future, Vietnam is a great option. Here are some of the key events in Vietnamese history. 2nd century BC, Vietnam is conquered by the Chinese. 10th century, Vietnam gains its independence from China. 16th century, Vietnam is conquered by the Ming dynasty of China. 1945, Vietnam declares its independence from France. 1954, Vietnam is divided into North Vietnam and South Vietnam. 1975, North Vietnam wins the Vietnam War and reunifies Vietnam. 1986, Vietnam begins to implement economic reforms. 1995, Vietnam joins the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN. 2007, Vietnam joins the World Trade Organization, WTO. 2016, Vietnam hosts the APEC Economic Leaders Meeting. 2021, Vietnam celebrates its 75th anniversary of independence. Vietnamese women have played a significant role in the country's history, from the early days of the country's independence to the present day. They have fought in wars, led revolutions, and made significant contributions to the country's culture and economy. Vietnam is a country with a long and rich history. The country has faced many challenges over the years, but it has also made great progress. Vietnam is a country with a bright future, and it is a country that is worth watching. And that's a wrap on our video about the history of Vietnam. We hope you enjoyed learning about this fascinating country. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. And be sure to subscribe to our channel for more great videos like this one.